Here.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, ma'am.
Approval of the minutes for the meeting from February 6th,
I recommend approval.
and I concur. Number 5, bid openings for 2024-2 project. We have 2 bid openings, 2 bids, sorry. The first one is from Reef Riley Construction. It's tabbed. Six. See the Form 96. The bid bond. See, and that's right after the,
In Form 96, there
Correct.
should be a non-collusion affidavit.
got it. And the non-collusion affidavit,
There should be a bid proposal.
that's there as well. The bid proposal is here as well. Okay, go back to that. Again, this is from Reef Riley, and the bid total is $1,842,676.98. Repeating, $1,842,676.98. This next one is from Milestone Contractors out of South Bend. Bid proposal. The bid bond. Form 96 is here, and a non-collusion affidavit is here as well. Again, this is from Milestone Construction, and this total bid is coming in at $1,494,585. Repeating, $1,494,585.
Project. City of Hammond, Department of Transportation for 2024-2 Community Crossings Project. This is resurfacing of Columbia Avenue between Summer Street and 167th, along with resurfacing 165th from Kennedy to Parrish. We sort of thought this project was going to come in around $3 million, so we're grateful to the bidders that brought us bids that were significantly under the budget amount, so less reliance on city funds to cover this 50-50. I would ask that this be referred to the consultant, United Consulting, but referred to our consultant for review, tabulation, and recommendation.
Okay. I recommend that we send it to the consultant for review and tabulation.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Letter A, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $60,000 of CIB funding to be allocated for general engineering services with Nice Engineering and the corresponding agreement.
Nice does a whole general services agreement with the city. This is that. They've been very helpful in helping us with drainage and curb problems and a myriad of things that come up in the engineering department that we don't have the CAD skills to do. And so on, I guess it was a week ago Tuesday, Monday, that the Capital Improvement Board met and funded this. We have the agreement and the funding allocation to ask for your approval of both.
And I'd like to add that it's been signed by the controller and the mayor,
Okay, I recommend approval.
and I concur.
Thank you.
Letter B, correspondence from Dean Button requesting $16,800 funding to be allocated for the Torrance Avenue reconstruction supplemental design with United Consulting and the corresponding agreement.
This is a long-standing design project that was suspended as a result of COVID. We're trying to bring this project back. This supplemental agreement allows for the expansion of street parking for the businesses, restaurant businesses that are on Goslin at Torrance. And so that's the supplemental design work that United is requesting. Funding allocation was approved a week ago Monday, and the agreement is attached to ask for your approval of both.
This has been signed by the controller and the mayor as well.
Okay, I recommend approval.
I concur.
Thank you.
Sorry. Letter C, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $43,200 of CIB funding to be allocated for the citywide pedestrian bridge inspections with Aegis, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Aegis, BLN, and corresponding agreement.
Yeah, BLN has been acquired by an international firm called Aegis. I want to say it was about 2018 or so, the previous bridge inspection paid for by the Port Authority. Because most of these bridges are contained within the city, it made sense that it comes through this body to come. These are accountable for all of the roadway bridges, but the city's responsible for all the, I think there's 12 pedestrian bridges and boardwalks. So this project does the bridge inspections for those to determine their condition. Remedial action needs to be taken. I'd ask for your approval of the funding allocation and the corresponding agreement.
I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Been signed by the mayor and the controller.
Thank you.
Letter D, correspondence received from Ron Novak requesting the approval of the proposed license agreement renewal with BP Midwest Products Pipelines Holdings, LLC, and its representative Aetna Group to provide access to property located at Roosevelt Avenue to test the soil.
This is to go on into the future, way beyond my tenure with the city. There was a spill at that location about 20 years ago, and it's right on the banks of the Grand Calumet River on the Hammond side. And they're required by for soil and groundwater contamination because that's a navigable waterway, and it's required. We want to participate in remediation out there as quickly as possible.
Okay,
I recommend approval.
and I concur.
Thank you.
Letter E, correspondence received from the Controller's Office requesting the approval of the renewal of amusement devices for VFW Post 7881.
I recommend approval.
I concur. Letter F, received from Kelly Kearney, Chief of Inspections, declaring 5625 Calumet as an emergency demolition.
Good morning, Board.
Morning.
Access due to a roof collapse. They could not gain entry to do the abatement or the asbestos testing. So when this demolition occurs, we'll have to have a state inspector on site. In order to do that, we have to declare it an emergency, which obviously it is.
Just wanted to mention on this property, so this is property that's actually owned by redevelopment.
Yeah.
And so it's not a private owner. And so, there's no, well, first of all, when it's declared an emergency under the code, there's no requirement of notice, but just so you know, there isn't anybody to notice except redevelopment. So, Kelly's been in touch with Ann. And
Yes.
no.
They're aware.
Okay. I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Letter G, correspondence received from Kelly Kearney requesting 2 Ford Ranger vehicles be transferred to the Hammond Sanitary District.
These are 2 Rangers that will be retired fleet since we were given 2 Ford Explorers from the police department. So it's just a hand-me-down.
I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Number 8, matters from board members.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Number 9, new business. Letter A, First Amendment to Tower Chicago SMSA Limited Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless for the property located at 518 Fayette Street, submitted for approval.
The lease be approved. Background on this is technology that they have on the police department tower. They wanted to basically reduce the lease significantly. We refused to do that, and I think we reached a reasonable conclusion. So this allows for continuation of the lease at an increased price.
Okay. I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter B, contract for demolition services in the amount of $277,500 with environmental cleanup for the property located at 20 Street, submitted for approval.
Ending based upon, and I've reviewed it as well, environmental being the, the board's already awarded this based on them being the lowest response. This is just the contract for services. Just a quick update to the board on 2834 Ruth. We have a request into NIPSCO to confirm termination of gas and electric. They're looking into that, and I've asked for an expedited look at that. Mr. Kearney has been dealing with Mr. Novak and the contractor regarding an of the IDEM notice that needed to be amended. I think they're in the process of amending that, and so we feel that hopefully this will be moving forward in the near future. So we request the contract to be approved as presented.
Okay. I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter C, first extension of rehab agreement for property located at 1913 Maiden Lane, submitted for approval.
Yeah, it should, I think it's 1933 Caroline, 1933 Roosevelt, 1933 Maiden Lane. So
1933.
thank you. What is it also? Burton Court. Okay, it's in that area. Mentioned last would be coming down the pipe, and it is. We do believe we finally have a new contractor that's going to be someone that Mr. Farrell and Mr. Kearney have confidence in that they're going to complete this, and so we'd request its approval. I believe we already have a status date that's been set on this matter, so
Yes, for May 1st.
May 1 status, great, and we would request, I believe it should be signed by the owner.
It is.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Hey. Send and release order 4919 Pine Avenue, submitted for approval.
I don't see today, but he has indicated, and I was trying to get him up my iPad, this has been a really great rehab in the city and request a release conditioned upon payment of costs.
Okay, and there's also a status set for this for March 6, 2025.
Okay, March 6th status.
I recommend approval.
And I concur.
So we're setting a status on a rescind and release?
No, I put a note on there stating that there was one, so I.
Oh, we vacate the status,
Yes, it
please.
says there is a status for March 6th.
Okay, could we vacate that status, please?
Oh, okay.
Recommend
I
vacation.
recommend that we vacate the status for March 6th.
I concur. Letter E, order to rescind and release order to demolish property located at 1101 Truman Street, submitted for approval.
Had great photos did indicate that this was cut up, so and it's now a single-family home. So great. And then this was one that the board was extremely patient with the owner on. So, you know, sometimes I guess time helps. This was a really good end result for the city. So we'd request the motion to, the order to rescind and release be signed and approved. Status.
I recommend that we also vacate the status and recommend approval.
I concur.
Could I have a date on the vacation of the status?
2/25.
2/25.
2/20/25.
2/20, so next week, status vacated. Okay, thank you.
Letter of representation received from Smith Sussex submitted for approval.
Just our annual request, I think, you know, we sent it to the controller for her approval, and so if she signed it, I
Yep.
sure would appreciate continuing to represent you, so.
Everybody okay with, no, I'm just kidding.
I recommend approval.
I concur. Number 10, old business status for 2314 Indianapolis Boulevard.
Having several property and the time it's been taking, the contractor that was hired has not been very responsible. Has been fired. A new contractor's on the job, contractor that we have faith in, and we set a status for 90 days. I think that would be,
So the contractor asked for a 1-month status.
okay, 30 days would be great.
30 days will be 13th? Yeah.
Is March 13th okay?
March 13th, okay?
That's fine.
I recommend we set this for status for March 13th, 2025.
And I concur.
Thank you very much.
Number 11, late rental registrations hearings, 7044 McCook. Thank you.
So this is Mr. Garza, he's the owner of the property.
Good morning.
Took over ownership in 2014. This property, we're here for one rental unit for 2024. Mr. Garza occupies the other unit as owner occupied.
Okay. Can you tell us why?
Then I moved back, and then once I realized they did some investigating, me and my father had 2 homesteads. Now everything, we understand that the only here on McCook Ave.
Okay. You don't have any problem with it?
Nope, no other issues.
Okay. I recommend we waive the late fee for 7044 McCook.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Sir, if you want to stay till the end of the meeting, we'll get you the paperwork.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
Number, meeting open to the public. Chris?
Chris?
No? No? Chief?
Chief?
No?
No? Anybody?
No? Nobody?
Nobody?
Okay.
Okay.